think about Marcus. Tell me what you think about Christ. Made their sacrifice now. Tell me what you think about equal rights for all, everywhere. Say what you think, what you think, what you think, what you think about justice. What you know, what you know, what you know, what you know about love. Why all the segregation, all are but one nation. Oh, let us unite as one. Let us unite as one. Tell me what you.
Good morning, GQ. Good morning to those of you listening via radio, internet, or whatever social media platform. I am Alwick Edwards, Inspector of Police, and the host for today's program, Policing with You. My guest this morning is Superintendent Travis Rogers, the Tactical Commander and my immediate supervisor. The topic this morning is the tactical units. This morning program is a very special one due to the fact that both my boss and myself work in the tactical unit. In fact, we are in charge of the daily operations of the unit. The show we take is normal format, questions and answer segment, break, and then close in. Superintendent Rogers, before we begin speaking about the work of the tactical units, let's help our listeners and viewers understand the setup of these units within the police force first. How many tactical units are there in the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, and which ones are responsible for?
Okay, thank you, Inspector Edwards. As you have done the introduction, so I need no introduction. And I'm happy to be here. Thanks, GQ, for having us again on another Thursday, and we want to welcome all the persons listening by whatever means. And I am truly happy to be here with you, because this is our bread and butter. All right, the work of the tactical units. So the question is, how many tactical units are there within the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force? There are three. Collectively, the Special Services Unit, what we term SSU, and the Drug Squad, that's one. Then we have the Task Force in Nevis, and then the Anti-Gang Task Force that operates in Division B. So three, and those that I'm responsible for directly is the SSU and the Drug Squad. In 2022, I would have had some responsibility for the anti-gang, but now they are now commanded by Superintendent David of Division B.
Thank you, Superintendent Rogers. What's the difference between the tactical units and the other units of the police force?
Okay, good question. First of all of us, we are police. Okay, before I go on, I must add that we have some tactical support as well from the St. Kitts Nevis Defense Force. So because I will mention them down in my presentation, right. So they give us support. But the difference between the Special Services Unit and the regular police, okay, we're all police officers. We're trained basic 22 weeks, so we have a basic understanding of policing. But these tactical units are units that are tasked to do duties where the regular police is not able to. They have special weapon training and tactics where it is out of the ordinary. Then you have the tactical units, and this includes the Drug Squad, and it indicates the Drug Squad that they are specified in drug investigations. We are specially trained. Yes, we have some of our guys who are not fully trained as yet, but the challenges, and I will outline them, but we operate in a different uniform. We wear the tactical BDUs, the blues and the black, that differentiate us from the other police in appearance. Alright, so, and we are tasked to do mostly, we would say, tactical maneuvers, tactical work that relates to drug, firearms, internal security, and the works. Yes.
Thank you, Soup. Can you say why there are different tactical units and what are the roles of each?
Okay, let us start off with the SSU. Our role are generally to help in border control, tactical aspect, special. You know, in some forces you have a SWAT team, special weapons and tactics. We do those kind of things. Riots, internal security, that is an aggression against the country as well. We're trained to deal with that. We're trained to deal with crowd control. And special security to prime ministers, the government buildings, government facilities, and the likes. That differentiates us from the regular police. Now, the drug squad within that unit are tasked to do drug investigation. They're headed by a sergeant. I'm overall commander, and they have a number of men that carry out drug investigation, drug interdiction, whether it by maritime, airport, and land. And they also do drug eradication, which is the next story, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you for that answer. Do you need to be specially trained to be in the tactical units?
Oh yes, just like I mentioned, SWAT, special weapon and tactics in the units, special. We started off with training as basic training from the RSS, which used to be in Barbados, but after the pandemic, during the pandemic, that was ceased, and we're yet to get back on the road to do that. But you have to have special weapon training because you have to be a notch above the rest, and to deal with atrocities such as what I mentioned earlier, aggression, invasions, and so on. So you have to have special training for the special services unit, and the drug investigation have to have special drug, basic and advanced drug investigation skills and techniques, drug identification, etc., etc.
Yes, thank you, sir. GQ, let us now break at this juncture. Upon our return, we'll open the lines for calling from the general public. Thank you.
Double up the season with the cable's new permanent internet packages. Have you heard that the cable is doubling up on their internet speed? Well, let me tell you about it. Double. If your internet speed is now at 35 megs, the cable will double that to 70 megs. 60 megs will now double up to 120 megs. 120 megs now doubles up to 240 megs. And 160 megs now doubles up to 320 megs. Double. All for the same price. Yes, customers continue to pay exactly what they are paying now for these incredible speeds. These new packages are also immediately available to new customers. Starting December 1st. There's no deadline, no gimmicks, no fear about new prices for 2023. What you hear now is what you get. Double. Nobody does internet like the cable. Always giving you more where it matters. Terms and conditions apply.
Yo, this is Skinny Fabulous, and I'm inviting you to be ready this carnival season with Courts Ready Cash. Get up to $20,000 cash right now. No deposit needed, and it's completely hassle-free. You will have your money in your hand in less than 24 hours. What are you waiting for? Don't miss the vibes this carnival season. It's all about Courts Ready Cash. Ready when you are.
Thinking bad, all my friend them stinking mad. We be having thinking bad. Martin call me the drinking god.
Stop standing in long ATM lines to withdraw cash. Use your national debit or black cards to complete a wide variety of transactions at supermarkets, variety stores, gas stations, pharmacies, and more. Shop online at the most popular websites and stores for quality brands using your national debit or black cards. And take back your time to enjoy all the things that you love to do. Remember, instead of waiting in long ATM lines to withdraw cash, use your National Bank cards today.
National Bank, always here.
Thank you, GQ. Are there any callers? Thank you. So today we will focus on the work done by the units you oversee. A recap of your efforts in 2022. Tell us about some of your successes.
Okay, thank you, Inspector Edwards. First of all, I would like the listening audience to get a feel of this street thing that we do. We do lots of mobile patrol, lots of foot patrol. During those process, We do abandoned houses, empty lots, vehicle searches, derelicts. We do beach patrols. We do drug interdiction. We do drug investigation and seizure of drugs and etc. firearms and so on. And over the year in review, we've had some challenges, but I would outline the numbers of what we were able to achieve during 2022, which are significant and important for us, the police force, and for the country as a whole. For 2022, we have executed 160 search warrants, and these are where we go to houses with information or intelligence, and we go and search houses. Persons search, we did 3,060. Vehicle search, 210. Tickets, where we are not a ticketing unit, but we have issued 6 tickets, very low, but that's okay. Mobile patrols, there are 2,310. Foot patrols, 2,941. Firearm, important and critical. We have seized 11 firearms during the 2022, because that is critical, because firearms is a weapon of choice for any gang members or any persons perpetrating crime against others. So we have taken 11 off the street. Ammunition, 222 assorted. We have 9.99mm, 10.40 and 5.45 derelicts. We have almost 800. We removed things from cars. Persons arrested for the year was 35. Persons charged was in excess of 12. Vehicle checkpoints, we have done 906. That's been on the road checking vehicles for traffic infringements and weapon contraband taken. Abandoned houses, 1,384. Empty lot searches, 722. Marijuana plants in vacant lands, government lands, 7,255 plants. Cure cannabis, almost 9 kilos, which is 41,890 grams. Cannabis, resin hashish, that is small, ecstasy now. Crack cocaine, we have removed 181 pieces of crack from the street. Cocaine, we have had 803 kilos, which is significant. I will come back to that. 30 vessels being searched, as we say, with maritime and interdiction at sea. Beach patrols, 450. But let me go back to the cocaine seizure. It's 803. It is the largest cocaine seizure in the history of St. Kitts and Nevis, where we would have had our largest being 136, 137. We were able, at the end of the year, last year in October, did an intelligence-led operation, and we were hugely successful, where we seized 801 kilograms of cocaine that were destined for another island, but passed through our ports, and we have made 5 arrests, and that matter is presently before the court, so we are waiting some court action for that. Another significant bust was at the Barstay Fisheries area, where we seized 20 kilos of compressed marijuana from our southern brothers, and a kilo of cocaine. So collectively, we are doing well. We're seizing contrabands, we're seizing things that are illegal and things that are not supposed to be on our shores. But those are our success, and we're yearning to do better this year. We have had some challenges. COVID was one. It presented itself that would have minimized our warrant execution, because it wasn't really going in people's houses for fear of COVID. So, and that would have created maybe some drop in our figures, but definitely this year we're looking for a brighter 2023.
Yeah, thank you, Superintendent Rogers. And let me add, as I said in my introduction, Superintendent Rogers and I are solely responsible for the daily operation of the tactical unit. We also cover a certain patrol area in District A, and while we're patrolling, the officers also check the different facilities, government facilities in our area of concern. Places such as government headquarters, the electoral office, the magistrate court, the banks. We make sure we check those physically, and so that is the next thing that we do while on the road patrolling nightly, daily, so that we are proactive and not reactive in our daily duties. So thank you again, Superintendent Rogers, for your answer. You spoke in your statistics, you spoke about firearms. The tactical units, are they the only department that deal with firearms?
Definitely no. Firearm seizure is the work of the police force in general, and to include the St. Kitts Defence Force and Customs as well, because these are our closest working brothers and sisters. So the entire police force is tasked with seizing firearms, but because of the nature and the persons who possess these firearms, they are notorious persons, and it requires really trained persons to get in these persons' house with the matching weaponry to get these firearms. So it looks like that we are seizing the most, but the issue of seizing firearms is for the general body of the police force.
Thank you, sir. These units, you just spoke about 2 units that assist us. Are there any other units, agencies, and tell us about the relationship that we have with
thank you. It's important.
Those agencies.
It's important that we mention our brothers that works in collaboration with the police force. We have the St. Kitts Defence Force, key. St. Kitts Nevis Customs and Excise Department, key again. We have SCASPO, the general SCASPO body, and including the security at the airports and seaports. Immigration. We work closely with immigration, and we also work closely with regional and international agencies, especially for the Special Services Unit with the RSS and other regional police forces. Internationally, we have the drug squad who work closely with the DEA, ATF, which is alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. We have the NCA, our version of the DEA, National Crime Agency, but the British version. Interpol to some level, but through other police agency, and then intelligence would come to us, and we would activate a plan to deal with that. But Interpol basically is an international criminal police organization based in France, headquarters in France, and we work closely. But we think, my personal view is that we can get closer. We should be working closer this year. We should be having joint training to build that closeness, because through closeness we would be more effective. We would be our brother's keeper. We would have a national closeness in terms of national security or the security forces, and that would be very effective, and we'll see more success.
Yes. So that's very true.
Yes.
GQ, are there any callers? Caller, good morning. You're listening.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Everybody, all happy New Year to you all. For
Same to you, sir. Same to you,
Mr. Culture.
Yes, man. Okay. I have a question. Now, when someone commit a crime in America and they run, America does ask for them to be extradited, and America will trace them until they catch them and they carry them back to America, and they penalize them in America because there's where they commit the crime. Now, 2017, just around the hurricane time, a guy came in St. Kitts illegally, and he was caught by the forces of the law with a sniper's rifle and ganja in the bag and whatsoever he had. And he did not get any imprisonment. He was sent back. And just 2 weeks ago, I heard it on ZZ News that police in Sandy Point, they went up by a house and a guy was outside, and when you see them coming, he run. And they gave chase. And they were able to achieve a gun that he had. So now he is a local, he live here. And when he go to the court or whatsoever it is, what going to be the outcome of that? Money or jail? Well, if he could get jail, well, the one come in 2017 and they just take with the gun and whatever it is, he ain't in the jail. I want to know why that. That ain't supposed to be. You commit a crime here, you're supposed to pay a penalty here. So that's my question out there. Anyway, all the best for the rest of the year.
Okay, thank
you, Carlo. Thank you, Carlo.
Thank you.
I am not too familiar with that matter. I don't know if
Mr. Culture, I am not certain which incident you're speaking about, but I'm sure whatever the case or the circumstances were at that time, it was put before the Director of Public Prosecution, the High Commander of our police force, and the necessary action would have been taken. Like I said, I'm not familiar, but we are a law-abiding body, and we have trained cadre of person within the Director of Public Prosecution Office, and they will do the facilitate whatever country came from, whatever the circumstances, and the right thing confidentially said that will be done. So if I have the facts, I'll be able to speak more of it, but I'm not too certain what the matter is.
Okay, thank you. GQ, any more callers?
Okay. Yeah,
So,
number 7.
What were some of the challenges experienced by these units last year?
Okay, first and foremost, I must say, last year we just basically came out of the pandemic. We had it 2020, 2021, and into 2022, and it's still around. So that was one of our main challenges, because we were trying to stay away from persons that keep social distance as much as we can. But of course, the law-abiding person and the law enforcement must carry out their functions, because a person must not be allowed to do as they like. So that created a challenge for us to do as much as we would have liked to. For example, search houses. We were asked that to refrain from doing that, because that puts our men and women at risk. So that really prevented us, but we still get off our feet and did a tidy job at 160 warrants, and I'm sure we could almost double that in the normal time. Because of the pandemic as well, we weren't able to get enough training, and then we had persons who were down. At one time, our unit had about almost 20 persons who were affected, exposed, and they had COVID-19, and they had to be at their facilities. So that again created some issue with the manpower. Generally, we're understaffed, but we're working with whatever little we have, because we are a resilient persons. We are a strong unit, and we push on. Those are some of our challenges: training, able to execute the duties as we would like to, and good intelligence in terms of to facilitate intelligence-led operation. But those were what we were faced with in 2022.
And you spoke of some expectation, as you said, we'll do more warrants. Are there any more expectations for the new year?
Yes. First and foremost, I want to see more training. And as I speak, okay, you want to take a call?
Yes.
Let's take the call and continue.
I'm calling. We listening. Good morning.
Good morning. I thought I wouldn't have to finish. Anyway, let me say good morning and happy new year to you, especially Travis Rogers. Probably knows who is speaking.
All right.
But I want to laud you a bit, because I am glad to see your elevation. I know you personally. But anyway, in reference to the first caller about somebody who they catch with rifle and all of that, I think they said the person was landed. I want to add a little more light. I don't know how come you all didn't remember that. At Cranston Bay. And he had this telescopic rifle and so forth. And also said he was a native of Dominica but living in St. Martin. I know that when certain things happen, there are some treaties where, okay, for instance, if somebody commit murder and is a citizen of the Dutch and some other places, some of them have treaties, they send them back and all of that. Because the same guy, I believe, had some other major crimes. So maybe they compound them, but I know that if the person commit, somebody from St. Kitts commit murder in St. Martin, and in St. Kitts and they run there, they're not going to send them back because they have the death penalty still on the books. But I am glad when I heard you say that your unit works closely with immigration. But I personally have a problem with immigration. I do not know if because it is not developed to what it ought to be. And I don't like to hear that COVID stopped a lot of things. But too many persons are coming in our country from foreign land, especially Spanish-speaking people. And I don't like to hear when the security people say, oh, the border is porous and we can't be everywhere at the same time. I don't like to hear those statements at all. We know, but we also know that things could be done. Because I really, I have personal things about police. Some of them, they're negative to what's going on. They're not positive. And even if you tell them something, they call your name to whoever the offender is and all of that. And that kind of thing needs to be eradicated so that you could develop confidence in the police. And I normally hear one of them say that there's a community policing and they set up this kind of interaction with people in the area that they're responsible for. Not a thing going on like that. I want us to come with the truth. But let me go now. But I am truly glad though. Also, I must say that the statistics that you gave, I'm glad to hear. It shows that the police is, policing and so forth, gone a long way. I'm glad for that kind of thing. And it need to be an ongoing exercise that the public could understand more about your operations and so forth. Let me leave that for now. So you have a good day. Once again, I wish you all Happy New Year.
Yeah, same to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Davis, for your call. Thank you. And since you have pointed out the incident with more details, I can recall the incident because I was the commander for Division B when that incident took place on the beach in Cranston. And you're quite right with what you said. There was serious crimes that that individual had committed in St. Martin, and it was more prudent to either extradite him or deport him to St. Martin so he could face a more heinous crime in St. Martin, which may carry a stiffer penalty. So those were the circumstances, yes. So Culture, if you're listening, action was done based on what he did in St. Martin and journey to St. Kitts.
Thank you, caller, for your contribution and your added information to the question posed by Mr. Culture. Are there no callers?
Okay.
Wait. We stopped at the expectation for the new year.
Yeah. Thank you. I had just mentioned training, and I alluded to say that presently in the first 2 weeks of January, the St. Kitts Naval Defence Force just across the road are conducting soldier training, and our guys are part of that training. So training is first and foremost on my agenda. More operations jointly, because that works better for us. The SSU and Drug Squad cannot do it alone, and the gang can't do it alone, so we have to do collectively with our brothers and sisters, customs and defense force. We want to see more high presence in the troubled areas that we're seeing now. 1 or 2 shootings occur. We want to continually put in pressure on those areas and let those people know that it's not a free-for-all and that we will be on their heels every time. And we don't want to be reactive, but proactive is the game for us to 2023. Greater collaboration with our units, because that would yield lots of success.
Yes.
So those are some of the areas. So because when we train together, we work together, we get a stronger bond. We know each other and we go out and we stand up for each other.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, those are some of the stuff that I want to have for 2023 and be very vibrant doing it.
Thank you, sir. Caller, we listening. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. A pleasant Tuesday morning to each of you, and all the best moving forward for 2023.
Thank you, ma'am.
I have a question. By any chance, is there a law in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis that covers citizens' arrest? Now, hear me out. The reason why I'm asking that is because I listen to the program quite often, and you have a lot of persons with grievances and repeat questions that are unanswered. And I know that it's very difficult because you guys can't be everywhere at any time. But if you have citizens' arrest on the books, I'm not saying anyone's supposed to play brave and go there and manhandle somebody and all that kind of stuff. But the basic things, let's say it's a vehicle and something should happen, an accident or noise, pollution of noise or whatever, because you're constantly having that. What about getting the color of the car? getting the number of the car, getting the date and time that that incident takes place, and writing it down and passing it on to you all. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, a blue car, there are hundreds of blue cars, yes, but there's only one license plate, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you have, hold on a second, and then you have the time that the incident took place and in the area that it took place. Maybe that could help, in some way by giving the police officers more of an upper hand, that they'll be able to carry out or execute their work in a more efficient way and help those who are constantly calling in all the time, asking, repeating the same issues and situations that keep reoccurring. So if there is such a thing as citizens' arrest in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, and we can use it in that kind of step or stages, the color of the car, the date, the time, and the place that the incident takes place, the color of the car, and the number of the car, would that be possible in helping us going forward? Because I listen to this program all the time, and most of the time you hear people repeating incidents happening in Monkey Hill and incidents happening here, and the police don't do this and the police don't do that. And due respect to each and every one of you, you got a very ticklish job to carry out. You cannot be in the same place at the same time. And if I know that I'm breaking the law and I'm doing something wrong, I'm not going to be in Challengers at 10 o'clock in the morning when I know that you guys are patrolling between 10 and 10:30 in the morning. I'm not going to be there. So maybe that's, an insight or a way to help the civilians, the people of the community going forward. It's just my 2 cents. You guys continue to do the good job, continue to stay safe, continue to help in whatever way, form, or measure you can in making St. Kitts a more safer place for the people of St. Kitts and a more enjoyable place for the people of home for the people of St. Kitts. Thank you very much. Do have a pleasant Thursday.
Thank you for your contributions.
Okay, thank you for that question, ma'am.
We'll take the other call first, and then we'll just wait on the answer to. Caller, good morning. We're listening.
Yes, good morning to you all.
Good morning, ma'am.
Happy New Year to you. And
same to you, same to you.
Yes, and I think you are doing a great job, and I'm agree with what the lady just said about the front. That go after these things and so. In the different blocker, that this number, the serial number, not the serial number, the number for the car. Yes, and then trace it down, because too much of things don't get through the pipeline when it comes to that. Yeah, one thing I call in to say again, that we have a country like we are blessed. I was listening a video, and it's so much in trouble in the other country. And I say when name come up, murder there, terrible man, kidnapping here, kidnapping there. So I just call him to put him a little 2 cents and say, if to St. Kitts, and you all, I know you all is, human like us, but sometimes you need to go on, you hear somebody going at somebody, and say, where it is, and how they look, and that like the person who giving you the report, like you get them sick, say, okay, I say I live up here, the second street come up here, then you come across the rear, and I will start to say when I'm in the middle, and take the report, not coming, but you said the 3rd street up here, the 4th, I said no, the 2nd street, because you get me frustrated. I try to do a report. It's not me happening to. I trying to just, to make it matter and get worse, just trying to report it, I seen. But I far from it, so I trying to say, the way the thing going like it's going to get bitter. But, we need to come out from the area there, I don't know. Sometimes it's a false, but if it's false and you reach it, oh my gosh. You take the person number and you hold them to the fire and say, you don't do that again, because you're just a false report you gave me. Because they said they don't pass the call on the ambulance or the fire truck for no reason. So I'm agree with what the lady said all the way, and you want to put in my 2 pence. We watched the video, and it called in so much different nation and rain in it, and keep the thing. Now, we had one incident down here with the 2 of the morning and the 2 of the Nevis, and that's all. We have no 10, 20, and it's so good. So you all keep on doing the good work. and hip 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 parade to we all, okay?
Thank you.
Time is a bit
Thank you, ma'am.
bad here. It's don't look bad. That's good.
It is soothing hearing those kind of commendations and kudos to the police. We are faced with more negativities than positivities, and we appreciate your calling to encourage the police and bigging us up. And we ask that you continue to support and encourage the police for their doing. Without the police, is a lawless society. So we need the police, and once everybody realizes that we need the police, then we'll be a better society. Alright, so Superintendent, caller, we listening. Good morning. Morning, caller, we listening.
Yes, good morning. The lady before this one here kind of confused me. Let me ask a simple question. Can a citizen arrest another citizen? That's the question I wanted to ask. You have in other countries where a citizen can arrest another citizen. Here in St. Kitts, can I arrest a citizen?
I think it's possible. I think it's on the books. We'll do some research, and then we'll get back in. Well, the next program, I will make sure that it is answered. But I think it's on the books. I can't say for sure.
Maybe I can restrict, like if a person coming into my yard, and I hold on to him, and I ask somebody to call the police. Maybe that also might be termed as
that is possible.
Arrest.
That is possible. That is possible.
Yeah, let me add to you, because it's a concern. And just how you spelled it out in your last statement, where somebody is in your yard and you want to hold them until the police comes. Of course, because it's your property, and it's you protect your property at any cost, as long as you're within the scope of the law. And every citizen also have in our rules, every citizen has a right to assist the police, whether by question.
Judge's Rule 1.
Yeah, Judge's Rule would outline that. Whether
police officers trying to discover.
To discover whether a crime has been committed.
Hello. It's like two people talking at the same time.
Sorry.
Yeah, whether when a crime has been committed, in the Judge's Rule 1, persons are asked by a police officer to assist, then yes, you can do it. You just would become a witness in the case. All right.
So that is you'll deem that as a citizen's arrest then.
Yes, very similarly. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So you can do it, and we have had situations where group of persons would have arrested persons who might have been committing crime, and then they hand them over to the police. So you can do that lawfully, and then you just would become a witness in the case when there's a trial.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yes. And I think that answered the lady's question. She would have mentioned about like date, color, information, and we always encourage our citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis to assist the police, because we want to have a collaborated effort with working closely with the public and the police, so that they could give us information and aid us in our investigations. So all of these we encourage, and these can be done, and they are done on a regular basis, just so we can come out and say these things, but we just continue our investigation and solve our crimes. All right?
I continue to say, if you see something, say something.
Yes.
I continue to say it. GK, are there no callers? Wait, caller, we listening. Morning.
Good morning. This is Dumpling speaking. I have a problem with down the ferry terminal. When the buses will come in with the passenger and the swing in to let off the passenger, they ain't supposed to go to the side and let off the passenger instead of blocking up the road. So where people who coming in, sometimes they're here for 5, 10, 15 minutes because they're collecting the money from the passenger. You understand? And that is wrong, because the security guard goes them when they go and they start to talk. Or you say, you have police down here to assist the guard. But when they come down there, come walk, they go I want to know if they walk in port. Because they go in the port place, where you have to go in to pay a ticket to go anyway. And in there sitting down. And that is not fair because the girl them have to be doing all kind of work going out in the road to get the traffic keep moving left, right, center, and them in here. I want to all, this is a new year. This is the first time I say it. Down the ferry terminal, there's 2 blocks up, and all the train and the 2 girls, Janelle and another girl, and the police them, they're ignoring a lot of things. Some of them are hard to go in the bakery, and them are plead, and all them kind of thing. I send them to work in Alwick. I send them to work. When I was like them, I used to do all the work. So these no recruit where you go. Mind that we do the people them in the khaki, you know, and just how with them in the khaki see them doing, they're going with them. Do something this year for me and tighten up down the ferry terminal for me, please. You understand?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your contribution, Carlo.
We have 2 more calls.
We have Carlo, we're listening. Good morning. Morning, Carlo, we're listening. Wait, let us touch some of the answers them that
okay.
We answer the question
for
that was
the
posed.
last caller, Dumpling, yes, a police officer is stationed there at regular intervals and almost daily, and they should carry out the function what they are asked to do. But we're happy for your constructive criticism, and that is something that we would take up with the police officers who are stationed there to ensure that they are supervised properly and they carry out the function that they are placed there to do. So we thank you for that call and we'll follow up on it. Thank you, Dumpling. And I think I would address the lady's call earlier because the second caller after her, the first after her would have asked the question, and I think we have addressed that. So, but we want to continue pleading to the public to assist the police because we can't do it alone, and we're bent on making this country as safe as can be and have crime as low as they can. And if we get the cooperation of you, the public, and we want to tell you that your information will be confidentially secured and kept, and we would use it to the best of our ability. But don't be dismayed. Continue working with the police, continue supporting our high command and the security forces so that we could be a better organization and we could serve you, the public, St. Kitts and Nevis, in with efficiency, more effectively, and full of confidence. All right? Thank you.
Thank you. Well, anything? Let's go. Carlo, we're listening. Good morning. Good morning, Carlo, we're listening.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Hold on a minute. Yeah, here you whisper, that's the last call. It's low. Officer Alwick.
Yes, morning.
Officer and footballer.
Okay.
Who the next person?
Rogers. Go keep it a footballer.
He's a footballer too?
He's a footballer too.
He's from down the village?
No, he's from Challengers. He's goalkeeper.
All right, okay. People name, all right.
When he goalkeeper with probably he played with Franklin them, so he played with your son Franklin, so Franklin will know him.
Police, I mean, it ain't not everybody, but police got a team this year.
A big team, man.
Yes.
Lolo.
Okay, forget about that part. Man in GQ. The lady called you and she is our prosecutor, and I hope you all understand clearly what the prosecutor said because she speaks very clearly. And I call to wish you all a happy new year and all the best to you all, and you all be safe and take warning from our prosecutor. And I want to wish you all the best because she wasn't feeling that good and she sounded very clear and give you all a lot of warnings and so on. So please to take note. Everybody have a blessed. I love you all.
Thank you, Lulu, for your contribution.
We love you too, Lulu.
Yeah, we encourage you to call in and support the police and encourage the police, Lulu. We thank you again. That's our final call for this morning. Anything closing, so?
Yes, I firstly want to say how grateful I am for all the callers, because it's critically important that we know people are listening and they have an interest in knowing what we do. Our focus today was the tactical units. We get a little sidetracked, but it's important to listen to all the calls because we're police in the end, all right? And I want to say thank you to the members of the Special Services Unit and the Joke Squad for their continued support throughout 2022, and I'm looking forward to that overwhelming support for 2023. It's only through together and good cooperation that we'll be successful. We have been doing a good job. Yes, we have had our lows, but that doesn't distract us from doing what we know we're supposed to do. I want to thank you, Inspector Edwards, for being my deputy and being a good deputy, being supportive in every aspect and facet of the tactical wings. I want to thank Sergeant Haywood for the drug squad for his continued support and his effort. And we're going to push forward. We want to encourage the members of the public to support us. Yes, when we see they say that we do wrong, we have a department that deals with the wrongs. Internal affairs are professional standards, and they can go and report it, and we for sure would give them our support, because we are law-abiding citizens, we are law-abiding force, and we're supposed to uphold, not break. All right. So, public, please continue to give us the support. We need it. I want to thank the St. Kitts Nevis Defence Force, Majesty's Customs and Excise, St. Kitts Nevis Customs and Excise, SCASPA, Immigration, Messieurs, Lieutenant Colonel Comrie, and all of those persons, Ken De Silva, for all the support that we have been, and we're looking forward for a better 2023. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Rogers. I'll close by saying, if you see something, say something, because that is what we encourage, how we encourage persons to support the police, because the police is the body of information, and we can only investigate matters if we have the proper information to lead us to certain perpetrators. I want to also touch on the judge's rule 1, which states when a police officer is trying to discover whether or by whom an offense has been committed, he is entitled to question any person, whether suspected or not, who he thinks useful information can be obtained. And that is what I was trying to add to Superintendent Rogers' answer earlier, when the person said that both of us are speaking. So that is what I was trying to say. In closing though, GQ, as usual, I want to thank you for being here and supporting us and moderating. I want to thank the callers this morning. I want to thank ZIZ for having us here weekly. And we know how important this show is, and we try to be here and we try to be as informative as we can be. I want to thank the callers for calling again, and I want to encourage those persons who are thinking about calling in to call in, because without their contribution, this show is pointless. Thank you all again, and see you guys next week, Thursday. Thank you.
Everywhere. Say what you think, what you think, what you think, what you think about justice. What you know, what you know, what you know, what you know about love.